Mark, very good evening to you.
Good evening, Ian.
Now, Conservatives rather love Michael Gove, but teachers clearly don't. A lot of parents are rather sceptical about some of his policies. Mount the case for the defence for me.
Well, the key thing about Michael Gove is it was interesting to hear today some Labour MPs called him a zealot, that he was full of zeal in his reforms. And in some ways that's true, but from a Conservative point of view, not in a bad way. You know, this is a minister who isn't in the job because he's looking to use it to get another job. He's in the job very specifically because he really cares about education. And he is a zealot, he is full of zeal, but about reforming the education system. And the key question is, we've spent years saying, as we saw, particularly in the 13 years of Labour government, that schools should not be questioned, the education system was working fine. The simple fact is, we see it now with stubbornly high youth unemployment. Our education system has been letting down pupils, the people who rely on it for the future of their entire lives, and he's been out to do whatever he can to change that, and I think he's right to do so.
Now, you keep a very close watch on developments within the coalition. I thought when David Laws was made Schools Minister, that was an excellent appointment because he and Michael Gove would get on very well. David Laws was fully in favour of free schools. It hasn't quite turned out like that. Why are the two coalition parties at daggers drawn on education?
Well, to a certain extent, this is the kind of fight that we all in the commentariat expected to see happen kind of 18 months into the coalition. It's remarkable in a way that it's taken this long for these kind of fights to break out. Like you, I expected David Laws to be the perfect fit for Michael Gove, and certainly a lot of Liberal Democrats were quite uncomfortable that Laws might be too nice to his new boss. I think it's fair to say that from some accounts from inside the education department, Michael Gove isn't always the easiest person to deal with, partially because of that zeal that I talked about earlier. If you disagree, he's not necessarily going to go straight into hugs and making up. The big question here is, what do the Liberal Democrats want to get out of it? The Liberal Democrats want to be seen not anymore as a productive force in the coalition. They want to make themselves out to be a blocking force. We stop the government doing this, we stop the Tories doing that. The problem is that if they decide to play politics with this, they're not playing politics with something that's hypothetical or just a concept or something in some obscure quango. They're playing politics with the fundamental education reforms that will dictate the outcome of people's lives for decades to come. And that's a huge thing to start messing around with.
Mark, thank you very much. That's Mark Wallace, Executive Editor of Conservative Home. Let me read you out a text